by an employee or agent in the first degree.
Of course, everyone, even persons indicted, are innocent until proven guilty in court. However, we believe, based upon the information that we have, that there's sufficient probable cause for the state to proceed.
That video was released. The rapping teacher faces serious charges.
Today, the defense asked her why she wanted to testify, and here is her response.
Why do you want to testify?
I want to testify to the jury because they're the ones who's going to be judging me. And almost 2 years of being involved.
Alright, what's up with y'all? So look, man, I'm back again with another video right now. Listen, man, cuz it's been going down, man, with this whole situation for a couple of years, and it finally came to an end. And I'm a little bit late with posting the video, but I got a lot of other stuff going on, so y'all forgive me for that. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all already know about the verdict, and a lot of y'all don't. And for those who are new here, I got the full backstory from beginning to the end in this video, so you can see when it first initially started taking place, some of the things that, you know, were out there to the public, some of the initial text messages that were floating around with the kids, the alleged picture of her kissing the student and everything like this. So those who want to get caught up to everything that's been happening, you can get caught up with this video right here. But basically, you know, the teacher that was messing with, well, allegedly messing with a child, has been found not guilty. You heard that right. She was found not guilty. Now, that's not saying that she didn't do what they saying happened. It's a big misconception on what actually is the reason why she was found not guilty. And we're going to talk about that. And I also have a lawyer that's in this video breaking down certain things before y'all actually watch everything that took place in the beginning that led us to this point right here. She tells you about how things were basically miscategorized with her charges, and she beat those charges due to how things were, you know, I guess, well, due to how the charges were placed on her. There's certain type of charges weren't the right ones, basically. It didn't fall under certain things. This will lead her to being free. But basically, you know, the teacher, you know, she did admit to, you know, kissing the student. And she did have a relationship with the damn boy, you know. Now, she didn't admit to actually, you know, giving him a little neck. It's crazy that I got to talk about stuff like this. But, yeah, it's crazy. She didn't admit to giving some neck to the student. But they are standing on it that she did do that. She just didn't admit it. I'm thinking that she didn't have to admit it. That's why. But, you know, she kind of left that unsaid. And I think that if she did lie, it will bite her back later on. Now, I don't know if they're going to pick up any more charges or anything like that. But as of now, she's a free woman. She's, you know, basically innocent when it comes to how the charges were pressed against her, what charges were pressed against her and everything like that. So look, I'm going to let y'all watch everything pertaining to this, and also their lawyer. Her information will be at the end of her speaking. If y'all want to go over there to her page, show her some love, you know, hire her for legal representation or whatever the case may be. Probably find more updates. By the time I post this video, it's been, you know, past the time that she dropped the actual videos. But other than that, man, I didn't say what I had to say. She was found not guilty in this situation. She admitted to kissing the student, but she didn't get charged with it. And y'all will get a better breakdown with the lawyer speaking on that. But I do want to say, watch your kids, be aware. To be aware these days is one of the most important things that you can do. And yes, you can be, you know what I'm saying, a victim of these things happening. And don't think that just because it's a woman that it won't happen, because there's more women predators out there than you know. But hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. We're going to talk about this in the comment section. I'll holler at y'all later.
And happening right now at the Dougherty County Courthouse, Adriana Cobb Williams is on the stand. She is the former Dougherty County school teacher accused of 1 count of first-degree sexual contact by an employee or an agent. We thank you for joining us on this Friday. I'm Carla Heath-Sands. Cobb Williams was arrested in 2023 following this picture on your screen being leaked. It allegedly shows her kissing Jaquan Maddox, who was a student at Monroe Comprehensive High School, where she was a teacher at the time. So far, Cobb Williams has testified and admitted to kissing Maddox, but She says she did not have sexual intercourse with him or oral sex. Today, the defense asked her why she wanted to testify, and here is her response.
Why do you want to testify?
I want to testify to the jury because they're the ones who's going to be judging me. And almost 2 years of being involved in this case, I have been silent. And today I want my voice heard.
Now, one day of the trial, you may remember that WALB told you, this was on day one, that WALB told you that the defense reserved their opening statement for another day. Well, today was that day. We will have that opening statement coming up today at 4 p.m. And of course, the latest from the trial.
Well, defendant not guilty, and it's signed and dated by the court person. With that.
That's right. The jury deliberated for about an hour and 15 minutes before handing down the not guilty verdict to Adriana Cobb Williams. Recapping the trial on day one, 5 witnesses took the stand, including the student Jaquan Maddox. On day 2, Maddox took the stand again and the lead investigator in the case. Adriana Cobb Williams took the stand today on day 3 to testify on her own behalf. She admitted that she kissed the former student Jaquan Maddox several times, but she says it didn't go farther than that. After the verdict was read, Cobb Williams gave reaction outside the courtroom.
Tell me how you're feeling in this moment right now.
I feel blessed and favored. That's it.
Did you know that the jury would return that verdict?
I feel like I did because when I got on that stand, I told the truth. And I know when they came back in, it made me feel so good. So I just want to say thank you to the jury.
Now, I did sit in the courtroom throughout the entire trial. For more coverage from today and this entire week, head over to WALB.com. Reporting in studio, Mackenzie Petrie, WALB, your hometown news source.
So, since this case in Albany has everybody in a chokehold and nobody's working in the Southwest Georgia area, I just came to stop by to give you a little tidbit of information because I know you really want to understand what's truly going on. So let me get my clipboard so I can chime in. So, first things first, let's look at the indictment. The state of Georgia versus Adriana Danielle Cobb Williams, aka Adriana Cobb or Adriana Williams. She actually was charged with 2 counts of sexual conduct by an employee or agent in the first degree. Now, I know some of you all are asking the question as to why count 1 got dismissed, and we'll talk about that on a later clip, so you're gonna have to keep watching. Now, when we're talking about this first indictment, the indictment says that Adriana had sexual conduct when she was employed at Monroe High School, and she did knowingly kiss, which is explicit conduct, with the alleged victim. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, count 2 suggests that the defendant had sexual conduct while she was an employee at Monroe, where she did perform oral sex on the alleged victim. Now, those are the 2 counts on the indictment. Now, keep in mind that it is not the defense's obligation to prove that Adriana Cobb or Adriana Williams is innocent, but it is the prosecution's job to prove each element of this charge, which is conduct by employee or agent in the first degree. They have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. That's why it takes the prosecution so long to offer witnesses and testimony and all of that other good stuff. And then it's the defense's turn. And you've seen that through the jury selection. You've seen that through opening statements and the litany of people that the prosecution actually brought forth. So stay tuned to the next portion, because we're going to go and talk about the motion to suppress and the demurrer motion. Okay, so I know that Albany and Southwest Georgia has been in a frenzy since they found out that count 1 of the indictment was dismissed. And you want to know why. There are a lot of people who are talking about a motion to suppress and all of this other good stuff, and half of them aren't even attorneys. Well, I'm here to try to set the record straight, and I'm going to remain neutral the entire time. So what happened is the defense attorney filed a general demurrer. And what a general demurrer does, it challenges the validity of the indictment. Now, all it's saying is that the allegations in count 1 of the indictment are fatally defective and void because it fails to allege facts that constitute charging a crime or any other crime, as a matter of fact. So again, with a general demurrer, it's just saying that whatever is in the indictment, even if the defendant says that, yeah, I did all of it, it still does not constitute a crime. Now, again, you have to go and do your research and look at the statute and look at the law to see whether it falls within the particular statute. So when we're talking about count 1, remember count 1 said that between the first day of August 2023 and the 14th day of December 2023, the exact date of the offense being unknown to the grand jury, being an employee of Monroe High School did knowingly kiss conduct with the alleged victim, whom said accused knew was contemporaneously enrolled as a student, which violated OCGA 1665.3 and is contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia. Now, if by chance there was a violation of this particular statute, the key point is that you have to prove that whatever is done is explicit conduct. Keep in mind that it's not the defense's job to prove that their defendant did anything wrong, like they were just open and honest and were innocent. It is the prosecution's job to prove that each element of the charged crime is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. So in count 1, it was improper conduct in the first degree. Now keep in mind that the conduct is detailed in OCGA 16-6-5.1, and you can go and look this up yourself, but also 16-12-100. Now, the second conduct, they have a list, but guess what? Kissing is not a part of this list, and therefore, even if the defendant said that she did kiss the alleged victim, it still would not be a crime under the crime charged. Furthermore, the defense actually went in their demurrer motion to say that it's not improper contact in the second degree either, because in the second degree, there's a list as well of misconduct. But guess what? Kissing is not a part of that list. The defense also went on to talk about battery, and guess what? Kissing is not under the statute with battery. And because kissing is not considered misconduct under those 3 statutes, or even the statute that the case is indicted under on count 1, then the charge had to be dismissed. And therefore, Ms. Adriana Williams is only up against count 2 of the indictment. Stay tuned for part 3 when we talk about that motion to suppress. Okay, part 3. let's talk about this motion to suppress. Despite popular opinion, most people think that the motion to suppress was actually granted by the judge and therefore count 1 was dismissed. But if you look at the last clip, you'll see why count 1 was dismissed. The motion to suppress was offered by the defense counsel because there were statements that the defendant made to Monroe High School and Dougherty County School System Police on December the 14th, 2023. And they were stating that they weren't given freely or voluntarily, and that they were direct production of coercion. Now, with that being said, the defense counsel did a wonderful job in their brief where they cited case law to try to make things analogous to teachers versus a police officer in determining whether or not to speak to the officer because they were afraid or in fear of losing their job, which was said that it was synonymous to the defendant, where of course she worked in Monroe, and she knew that if she were to speak to officials and investigators that her job would be in jeopardy. So they tried to make a parallel of the two. Unfortunately, this defense or this motion was actually denied by the court. The court denied this motion, and that's why this afternoon or this evening you probably heard that some of the interviews were played in open court. So despite the best efforts of the defense counsel with the motion to suppress, the evidence of the recordings where she started the initial investigation, unfortunately, they were brought in, well, fortunate for the state, but they were brought in and they were actually used against her by the prosecution. They gave a litany of case law, and I'll say those cases, but I'm not going to go into details with all of them because most people don't want to know the cases, actual cases. You want to know the meat and potatoes, so that's what I'll give you. So if you can look up Garrity versus New Jersey, which is a Supreme Court case, it talks about the voluntariness of a statement and how they paralleled it. They looked at Sloshower versus the Board of Education and tried to parallel it where a police officer and a teacher were kind of analogous in the situation. Then they attached the United States versus Indictment to give the prong analysis as to how to determine the voluntariness of the actual statement. But lastly, they used United States versus Frederick. They used United States versus Frederick, which was the 1988 case that talked about the defendant's subjective belief and understanding that they had to answer questions from the investigator in order to keep their job. So do I think the brief was pretty crafty? I do think it was very crafty, and it was a valiant effort. And also, the defense counsel was saying that the court in Ziegler versus State adopted the totality of the circumstances to determine whether the statements of a public employee made during an investigation into her activities were voluntary. So they made a valiant effort in bringing in case law. We do not know what the prosecution argued. I wasn't there, and I'm trying to stay behind the scenes, but I just wanted to make sure that I kept the community abreast as to not what was going on in my opinion or thought process, but I wanted you to understand the dynamics as to what is happening in the particular case. So Mackenzie, great effort at WALB. You keep up the good work, keep doing what you're doing. And I know some of you all were upset that some things were not live. Unfortunately, some things could not be live. So it is what it is. And Mackenzie, you keep doing a great job. And everybody else, stay tuned. because I'll keep you posted. I'm not going to give my opinion again, but I'll keep you posted as to the ins and outs of the case and understanding what's happening in real time. You all be blessed.
We now know what led to the arrest of a Dougherty County school teacher who was charged with assault of a student.
WALB News 10's Mackenzie Petrie has been going through details of the arrest warrants issued for the teacher. Mackenzie?
Yes, in these arrest warrants, the investigator testified under oath that to the best of their knowledge and belief, Audriana Williams did commit arrest. According to the indictment, Cobb Williams is facing 2 counts of by an employee or agent in the first degree.
Of course, everyone, even persons indicted, are innocent until proven guilty in court. However, we believe, based upon the information that we have, that there's sufficient probable cause for the state to proceed.
That video was released. The rapping teacher faces serious charges of assaulting a student. Audriana Cobb Williams was arrested for 2 counts of assault by teacher last December. And the former teacher/content creator has been out on bond since, but this week pleaded not guilty to the shocking crime. After the allegations came to light, the fallout was swift. According to WALB, Williams was placed on administrative leave about a week prior to her arrest. Then she resigned from her position within the Dougherty County school system in lieu of termination just 4 days prior to being arrested. Months later, in August of this year, Williams was indicted by a grand jury. And the grand jury indictment would reveal more into the troubling and disturbing allegations. Under count 1, Williams is accused of knowingly kissing the...
All right, what's up with y'all? So look, man, I'm back again with another video, right? And listen, I know my setup is crazy looking. I probably look crazy right now. I'm shiny, probably all type of different stuff because I got this light in my face or whatever the case may be. But anyway it go, I'm out of town on vacation, so that's why everything looks crazy. I'm in Vegas for a couple of days, so yeah. But anyway it go, man, I want to tell everybody out there that it is an update with this whole situation that took place with this teacher. Y'all remember this cheerleading teacher that actually went to jail for allegedly messing with a student. Now, everything I'm saying in this video from beginning to the end is allegedly because she has not been found guilty yet. But they did indict her, and they are saying that they have more evidence to prove what they're saying, basically stating that she was messing with the student, and they made a couple of more allegations as well about this whole situation that we're going to talk about in this video. Yeah, man, they're saying that she allegedly gave the boy some hit. I didn't know nothing about that. They said it happened in 2 different settings on 2 different occasions, which is crazy. She's married. She's been posting videos and footage of her and her family recently like she don't give a damn. And one thing I do know, when you're in legal trouble and you don't do certain things the correct way, they will penalize you for that, for making a mockery out of them. So you want to make sure that you're sitting your ass down somewhere and letting this case get taken care of. But some people think that reverse psychology works. You know, playing like you don't give a damn and everything is cool and you're innocent. They don't be giving a damn about none of that. But I will say that she still has her husband, she still has her family, and, you know, congratulations on the new kid and different things like that I think that she had, if I'm not mistaken.
What led to the arrest of a Dougherty County school teacher who was charged with sexual assault of a student.
WALB News 10's Mackenzie Petrie has been going through details of the arrest warrants issued for the teacher. Mackenzie?
Yes, in these arrest warrants, the investigator testified under oath that to the best of their knowledge and belief, Audriana Williams did commit quote-unquote sexual assault by teacher at 2 separate locations on 2 separate dates. The warrant describes the offense stating, quote, said subject, who is a teacher at Monroe High School, did knowingly engage in explicit conduct with a 12th grade student at Monroe High School. It also states that the first offense happened sometime in November, quote, the place of occurrence of said offense being Albany Strikers 1200 West Broad Avenue. The second warrant that was also signed by the magistrate judge on December 18th stated, quote, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. on the second day of December, the place of occurrence of said offense being June Bugs Grocery Store. Mrs. Williams worked at Monroe High School, and she appeared in WALB News 10's Good News segment in 2020 after her back-to-school rap video went viral on social media. Mrs. Williams turned in her resignation on December 15th, 2 days after the school launched an investigation. She was arrested and bonded out of jail a week ago today. In studio, Mackenzie Petrie, WALB, your hometown news source.
Okay, now look, that was the original video about the whole situation, right? Y'all know I give y'all a sequence of events, so that's what was going on in the beginning. But if they're, stating facts about what she's done, she was too damn horny. She was out here tripping, bro, and she definitely needs to get dealt with. Being this damn irate behind a little old boy is crazy to me. It's so many grown ass men. Plus, you already got a husband at home, and like I said, everything is allegedly. And if it comes out that she is found innocent, I will come back and let y'all know. I'll apologize to her and things like that. But we're going off of what's in the goddamn system about her ass, little freaky fucker. Let's get back into it.
A grand jury has indicted Adriana Cobb Williams, the former Dougherty County teacher who was arrested for 2 counts of sexual assault of a student in December of last year.
Tripping.
WALB has been following this case since the teacher's arrest. According to the indictment, Cobb Williams is facing 2 counts of contact by an employee or agent in the first degree.
Of course, everyone, even persons indicted, are innocent until proven guilty in court. However, we believe, based upon the information that we have, that there's sufficient probable cause for the state to proceed.
The indictment says, quote, Adriana Cobb Williams, an employee of Monroe High School, did knowingly kiss a student in violation of Georgia Code, end quote. It continued to say she also, quote, did knowingly perform a act with the student whom said accused knew was enrolled as a student, contrary to the laws of the state, end quote. Some may remember Cobb Williams from her viral back-to-school rap video she made back in 2020 with another teacher at Monroe Comprehensive High School.
We must protect the integrity both of our educators and our children in ways that a community protects its senior citizens, its disabled persons, and its children, is reflective of the character of the community.
Now, y'all seeing him, being a black man, he don't want to bring down no more black people. Well, I can't say necessarily what he really, really want to do. I just would assume that. And I'm only saying it to say, I don't think he in there just lying on her. You know what I'm saying? And they testifying, like they, you know what I'm saying? They going under oath saying they know that she done did this and they can prove it. And I'm pretty sure they probably got video footage and evidence kind of planting certain things in place to be able to charge her with this, because they don't just say nothing for nothing. Now they will, but I'm talking about stuff like this. They know that this will cause a whole lot of scrutiny if they got this wrong. You know what I'm saying? But why is you in there eating this little boy alive, man? No, he can't handle all that right there, man. You in there giving him all this esophagus and throat, and man, that boy can't take all that, man. Allegedly, you know what I'm saying? And I hate that these black women are out here I hate that any people are out here doing this type of stuff, but being black, being a sister, being somebody who's supposed to be a representation for us, you out here doing this, man, it's just so despicable and nasty and weird, bro. Like, how do you have an attraction for somebody that's this young? It don't make no sense to me. And yeah, true enough, I think he was about to graduate or whatever the case may be. Let him get out of school first. Damn, hold on, cuz he coming? Shit, you know what I'm saying? But hell, let's get back into it, man.
Now, DA Edwards says the next step is for the case to go to trial, and if Cobb Williams is found guilty, she could face up to 10 years in prison for each count.
I remember her as a teacher who went viral for her rap verse to celebrate school being back after COVID.
Yeah. In their freestyling, huh?
The years after that video was released, the rapping teacher faces serious charges of sexually assaulting a student. Adriana Cobb Williams was arrested for 2 counts of sexual assault by a teacher last December. And the former teacher/content creator has been out on bond since, but this week pleaded not guilty to the shocking crime. After the allegations came to light, the fallout was swift. According to WALB, Williams was placed on administrative leave about a week prior to her arrest. Then she resigned from her position within the Dougherty County school system in lieu of termination just 4 days prior to being arrested. Months later, in August of this year, Williams was indicted by a grand jury. And the grand jury indictment would reveal more into the troubling and disturbing allegations. Under count 1, Williams is accused of knowingly kissing the student. And under count 2, Williams is accused of knowingly performing oral sex on the same.
Eating them alive.
According to court papers, one of the alleged incidents happened between November 1st and November 30th of last year, and the second alleged incident occurred on December 2nd. Both incidents involved the same student who was a senior at Monroe Comprehensive School where Williams was a teacher. And while Williams was known for her wholesome content,
I got some videos like that coming too.
chairs. What do the chairs represent? Our resources.
She's facing a decades-long sentence behind bars. And here's what else we know about the former teacher.
What's up?
According to her LinkedIn, she was a teacher at Monroe Comprehensive School within the Dougherty County School System in Albany, Georgia, from July 2017 up until her resignation last year in December. After she tendered her resignation, the school district released a statement writing, quote, "The Dougherty County Board of Education voted unanimously to accept the resignation of Adriana Williams in lieu of termination, with the understanding that the district will submit the appropriate reports to the Georgia Professional Standards Commission." While there, she was also the cheerleading coach and featured some of her students and cheerleaders in social media videos that...
Now look, let me know. Would you resign? Well, I can understand it because, you know, people are going to want their kids around you and it looks bad on the school. So they probably was going to end up firing you anyway. But me personally, I feel like that people will put up more of a fight and be saying all type of different stuff to prove themselves. Because you get to talking about me saying I done did something with a goddamn kid, boy, I'm not, my lawyer probably fired me as a goddamn client. I cannot hush. What the hell you mean this is happening? Y'all lying like a motherfucker, man. Show me the proof. But I feel like if she did do this, she should go ahead and admit it and go ahead and go on with her life because she's going to look stupid at the end of the day. Now, like I said, it's all allegedly, and I hate to put this out there without it being finalized, but they have evidence allegedly, and they're bringing it to the public, so I am too because I already did a story about it, and I don't know about no explanation, no goddamn way, I'm just speaking. But, you know, would you resign instantly, or would you at least try to put up a fight and say something, give press conferences and things like that? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Some people might feel like it's not a good idea. Some people, you know, gonna speak for what's right and stand up for what the hell they believe in. That's just what I feel. Let's get back into it.
Hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok. But since she resigned amid the sexual assault allegations, her content has made a turn, now featuring videos of her husband and their young child as she seemingly rebranded as a family blogger. And despite facing serious charges and accusations, the former teacher, now content creator, hasn't slowed down from posting videos. But she might want to lay low, as Cobb Williams faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted on each count.
New at 5, a former Monroe Comprehensive High School teacher is now facing...
Damn, cuz, okay, this is the old videos where I had more information showing different things about certain things. I don't know if this was really the boy back then, but allegedly, that's who they said it was. Look, I done gave y'all everything I could so far about the updates. This is for those who don't know what the hell is going on, what took place, and want more details and information about it. And then after I get through with my video, it's more updates that's recent in the end of this video. You know what I'm saying? So you can get the full update, get the gist of everything. I also got an attorney in there speaking about what they think is finna happen, how they think it's finna go, and different things like that. And they're also trying to say that they think that this is some type of mental issue. I don't feel like it is. I feel like people just lustful as hell, which can be considered a mental issue somewhere down the line if you want to go that deep with it. But, you know, I feel like that when you can't control yourself, you don't need to be around no goddamn kids at all. These kids should be able to trust you, and I said that as well too in my first video. Anyway, go out and said enough about everything. I'm gonna holler at y'all later on another video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything, and we're gonna talk about this in the comment section. Hi.
Videos. But she might want to lay low, as Cobb Williams faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted on each count.
New at 5, a former Monroe Comprehensive High School teacher is now facing 2 counts of sexual assault with a student after she resigned from the school system last week.
You see me? You in my business? Don't do that.
Alright, what's up with the YouTube fam, and I'm back again with another video. And before I move forward into this video, I want to start it out with some positivity. I want to tell everybody out there that's rocking with me and supporting me in this channel, I just want to tell y'all Merry Christmas, and yeah, Merry Christmas Eve and Happy New Year's, you know, and just happy holidays all the way around. I hope that everybody is out there having a good quality life and getting everything that they want out of their day during their day. And if you're not getting everything that you want or need, just give it a little time, stay consistent at whatever you're doing. I promise you, you can have whatever you want in your hands if you just keep on being consistent. You know, like they say, keep on keeping on. But anyways, man, and yeah, don't just take the good energy, man. Show me some love back. I'm only talking to people who show me some love back. But anyway, go, man. Squash all that. We're finna get straight into the subject matter at hand. Long story short, it's a coach that got caught messing with a student. Now, when I say messing with the student, we don't have bona fide facts on exactly what took place. But, you know, having your name associated with things like this is very, very bad. And it's very, very, you know, detrimental to people's careers. I don't think that a lot of people understand that, you know, when you're dealing with children and stuff like that, that people ain't playing with you. You feel me? But basically, long story short, all of this is alleged from the beginning to the end, you know, because we don't know exactly what's going on with the situation. But, you know, I did see certain things online. I don't know what to say and how to approach those things because it's really just not giving us facts. But there's some blurry pictures going around. They saying that she was on camera kissing a boy. They were saying that she was messing with one of the cheerleaders' boyfriend. And I seen her interacting with certain students and stuff like that. And I don't feel right about it, but it could be because this type of stuff is already out there in the atmosphere. You know, once these type of things get on your name, it's kind of hard for people to look at you the same way 100%. But, you know, even if she comes out to be innocent, you feel me? But, yeah, she's been released on a $2,000 bond, if I'm not mistaken, which I find is very, very crazy. She did quit her job. Well, she resigned from her job. And a lot of people are speculating on why she did that. Now, me personally, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I feel like that she did this only simply because she knows that she can potentially go somewhere else and get a job. Once you resign, it looks better than you being fired for these type of things. You feel me? But I do want to say this, that, you know, I done did a lot of research. I done watched a whole bunch of videos. I done went to TikTok even trying to figure out some more stuff about it because that's where she's going viral at all the time. But yeah, man, you know, a lot of people are saying that one of the students had exposed her because it was one of the students. They saying that the students knew about this type of stuff, but they are going for her license. That's one thing that I want to point out. So even with her resigning, they're trying to go for her license and stuff like this. So it's very, very serious. But, you know, ultimately, you know, she's got a smile on her face. You know, she kind of had a little smirk on her, even in her mugshot. And I just want to say that you got to watch who you dealing with these days. You can't trust nobody with your kids. I don't give a damn who they are. It's just how the world is right now. Some of the most craziest stories have been coming out lately. And I just hate for one of my supporters or anybody out there in the world to be going through these situations due to a lack of knowledge or a lack of them actually being more attentive than they should be. But other than that, we're going to get into the video clips that I do have of her. I got the news speaking about this as well. Let me know your honest thoughts and opinions. Now, for her to resign, like I said before, it could be just for the betterment of her life, just to make sure that she can get a job somewhere else. But if not, it is what it is. Let's get into the video, though. And don't lie to me. Keep it 100. Let me know your honest opinions. Let's go.
New at 5, a former Monroe Comprehensive High School teacher is now facing 2-count sexual assault with a student after she resigned from the school system last week.
WALB News 10's Mackenzie Petrie joins us live in the studio with those new details. Mackenzie?
Yes, Audriana Williams was arrested earlier today and booked into Dougherty County Jail before she was released with a $2,000 bond.
Yeah, $2,000.
Williams is being charged by Dougherty County School System Police Department with 2 counts of assault by persons with supervisory and disciplinary authority. Now, many of you may know Mrs. Williams from her viral back-to-school rap video that WALB aired in our Good News segment back in 2020. In the last hour, we received a statement from the Dougherty County School System that reads in part, quote, "The charges were filed as the result of an investigation into allegations of an inappropriate relationship with a student. Last week, Williams resigned her position in lieu of termination by the Dougherty County School Board of Education," end quote. If Williams is found guilty of those charges, she could potentially be facing 1 to 20 years in prison for each count. In studio, Mackenzie Petrie, WALB, your hometown news source.
Okay, and you got to look at this too. She was dealing with these children way more than she should. That's why I feel like it needs to be a direct balance with relationships with people that's not in your family. Even with people in your family, you got to put some boundaries on certain things. But, you know, after hours and things like that, it's too much room for something to go wrong, in my opinion. And like I tell y'all all the time, if you know me by now, I don't trust shit. Nothing at all is trusted in my eyes. I know it's crazy. Some of y'all gonna say who hurt me, all type of weird ass shit. That's just how I feel. Let me feel how I feel. You ain't gotta bash me for that. But even though I really rarely hear that, somebody's gonna see it. So I'm talking to you when I respond. But yeah, you know, I just feel like that she just doing a little bit too much, getting too close with the kids, being too friendly with them. You know, if I'm going to work, if I'm your teacher, if it's business, like, hell no, I'm not finna be in here playing with y'all. I'm here to teach y'all. I need to show y'all that I'm the person that's in charge right now, because if I don't, at some point in time, y'all gonna feel like we can play up in here. You feel me? But I got another video of her and another student. This isn't the guy that they're saying that she was accused of dealing with, but it's just an interaction with another student. And it just, I don't know, seeing it now just kind of made me look, I don't know. I'm not trying to call her nothing without having facts, but I just don't like it right now. You feel me? I don't know. And I just feel like that it shouldn't be this. Me and my teachers ain't never been this cool. I'm going to put it like that. I always knew that was my teacher. It was more of a privilege if I was getting close to her and shit like that. You feel me? But like somebody like this, I don't think that it should be happening like that. They too close and too cool and too, you know, you about to see.
Nah.
Who's there?
Orange.
What's it say?
Orange who?
Orange who?
Orange, you glad? Orange, you glad you're in my class?
Yeah.
Your turn.
No.
Who's there?
Red.
Red who?
Ready to go. Ready to go.
Knock.
Who's there?
Me.
Me who?
Me too.
They're tripping big corny. I like little corny jokes like that though.
1. Do the cheerleaders actually have to have A's and B's in their class?
Okay, now look.
Absolutely.
People asking, do the kids gotta have A's and B's and stuff like that? I just had to let y'all know that just in case y'all didn't hear it. But I do want to say that she seems like she's very morally driven. I don't think that she will be doing something based on what she's saying. But like I always say, you gotta watch out for people that are false prophets or people that's in positions that could be put on a facade. Not saying that this is true because we don't know yet, but these are some heavy allegations that people are putting on her, and I just got to look at it on all sides. I got to keep it 100 basically, you feel me? But yeah, she just seemed very morally driven. I'm going to let y'all listen to her talk about what she's talking about, and just let me know what y'all feel about her character and things like that. I'm going to holler at y'all at the end of this video, but yeah, just let me know what's up. Like I said before, we don't know for none of this to be true, but it's all going to come to the light pretty soon. But yeah, I'm going to holler at y'all in a minute.
A couple questions that I get asked. 1, do the cheerleaders actually have to have A's and B's in their class? Absolutely. I do not believe in any athlete cheering, dancing, playing without having your grades up. Especially school nowadays, you can redo an assignment as many times as you need to. Now they done changed the weights of the grades, therefore there shouldn't be any issues for you to keep your grades up. So I make sure that that's my rule, so I can hold them to a higher standard to make sure that they have good grades in their class. Because there's no excuse. Why settle when we can be the best all over? Excuse me. I'm handling business. You should be cheering. You should be cheering. You should be cheering. You should be cheering. Thank you. Now back to what I was saying. Another question. Where do we order our gear? I've answered this a million times, but we order from Varsity, and we do have one of our cheer moms who makes a lot of our stuff. If y'all want her info, let me know, but don't get her too booked because we need her. But let's talk about the relationship that I build with my girls and guys. I believe in being that coach, but also very stern. Don't play with me, okay?
If you didn't have your managers, what would you do?
If I didn't have my managers, I would lose my mind. If I did not, y'all. And sometimes it's so many things that are going through my head and I cannot remember everything. Y'all, I appreciate them for real. Like, for real. They be helping me out big time. I be forgetting everything, but they be on it. So, Coach Robinson said you go right down there under school. You might be off the team now. My cheerleaders are getting their hair done today, and one had an early morning appointment, so she wanted me to go get her some breakfast. I got her breakfast, and I'm excited. It's about to be a great lit weekend. Turn up. No. Yeah.
Speak up, about a car, problem solver. Speak up. Speak up when I hop about the cut. I promise I'm gon' make a scene. Got lights, cameras, action, but I promise that I won't be seen. She told me that she loved me, but I knew that she make believe. But this ain't even about it, so let me catch you up this.
Hey baby, it's game time. Hello. Y'all boys better lock in. Hello. Yeah. Hello. When we walk in,
Yeah. That pretty pony, get at her. Yeah. Hello. 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 Yeah, I ain't gotta do too much. I ain't doing too much rushing.
Things people asked me last week as we were getting ready for tryouts that I feel the need to address. 1. Do the returning cheerleaders have to try out again? Abso-freaking-lutely. Every year that I have been coaching, I literally say, this is the best year. But then the next year comes, and then that one is the best year. So what does that mean? I want the baddest girls on the floor. And that could be somebody that's never cheered before, and they decided to say, hey, I want to try out. And then next thing you know, they shock me and surprise me. That could be somebody that was on JV from the last year, and they have grown throughout the year, and they show out and they make varsity. So no, nobody's spot is safe. So what does that mean? To bring your A game when it comes to tryouts. Another question that someone asked me was, has there ever been a chance where you said no to a child that could not try out? I have never told a child no that they cannot try out. I'm going to let you try out. But I want children and parents to understand that as a coach, we don't owe anyone nothing, right? We do not have to have you on our team. Even if you are a good cheerleader, that doesn't mean that I want you on your team. Why? You might have bad grades, might have a bad attitude, and maybe I just don't want to deal with that this year. I'm human. We all go through things, and I want to live my life stress-free. So if you bring me stress, I probably don't want you on my team. Another thing, parents, just coming from a coach, if your child does not make the team, it is okay. Teach your child to still speak afterwards. Get it, I get it. But coaches will respect you more when after you don't make it, you speak and you have conversation, because you never know what could possibly happen. What about if a cheerleader got injured and I need to pull a cheerleader and I need to hit a certain number? I might be going back to who tried out like, hey, let me call such and such and let me add them to our roster. So you just never know what could happen. So it is best to still show respect. It's best to still speak. It's best to still go on about your life like everything is normal. Trust me, I know that it hurts if you didn't make it, but if you continue life happily and being optimistic and like, hey, Coach Williams, I'm like, hey, and now I just love your spirit, and that's what I love. Also, parents. I do want parents to understand that you could be the downfall of your child. So sometimes if a child is trying out and your child doesn't make it, sometimes it could be your fault. As a parent sometimes, and I know, and now that I have a son, because I have a coach, I'm going to have a different approach to things because I know how the coaching world is, right? So first of all, as a coach, we have our own lives, right? So, but when you're coaching a sport, parents can get a little rowdy, right? But that's something as a coach that I don't have to deal with. I just want you to remember that. As a coach, I don't want to deal with a rowdy parent, a parent that has an attitude, a parent. Times a parent can be the downfall of their child. Maybe the reason that your child didn't make the team is probably because of the choices that you made as a parent throughout the year with the coach. And as a coach, we want to be stress-free. We want to be happy. We want to give all of our attention to our girls. And if you know your coaches, you know that we mean well by our girls. I promise you, my girls can drop comments underneath this video and they know how we rocking. Me and my girls are like this, okay? Yes, we joke, we laugh, we haha, but they know when it's time for business, and when it comes to practice, I do not play. Respect is always there between me and the girls. So when a parent goes about a situation a little differently than I would, and remember, I don't owe anybody anything. So parents just have to be mindful of how you communicate, how you express your feelings with the coach, because eventually it's going to become a problem. So just be mindful of, as a parent, do not be the downfall of your child. Another question was, how were captains chosen? This year, we did things a little differently where they actually had to apply to be a captain. They had to, and I will show you all a video of one PowerPoint that was phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. They got an application that they picked up, and they had to do everything that was on that application, from listing how practice should be ran, listing community service events, listing how they see next year's season and how they would want it to be ran, and the things that would need to be done in order for the year to be successful. And y'all, they blew my mind. They blew my mind. We had 4 to go out for leadership, and one became captain, one became co-captain. And because all of them did so well, you can't just give out the titles to everyone. So what I wanted to do was I created a leadership team, because at the end of the day, they are all leaders, right? So if you did not turn in your application, you are not a part of the leadership team. Because now, for example, if I had 10 girls turn in their application for leadership, it might have been a little different, but I only had 4 to turn theirs in on time. And that was another thing. It had to be turned in by 4 p.m. on that Friday. And if I did not get it in by that 4 p.m., your application was out. So I was left with 4 final applications for leadership. And I chose my captain and my co-captain. And the other 2 were still great leaders. So they are now my leadership team, because sometimes the captain could be out, co-captain could be out. It is high school, so kids do play other sports, so always having someone that is going to be able to lead the team in case of someone being absent or whatever the case may be. So, and my leadership team is solid. And I do love my leadership team. Now, don't get me wrong, there's other girls on the team who are just natural leaders anyway, so that is just what they're going to do. But unfortunately, I know y'all love Deasia. I know y'all love Deasia, but she is not on the leadership team. And she actually left a comment under one of the videos explaining that. But she went to the doctor and found out she had mild scoliosis. So she will actually, and I'm going ahead and I'm letting you all know this now, so y'all don't be beating me up. Where's Deasia? Where's Deasia? Where's Deasia? Okay, so she will be probably out on for a few more months for medical, just taking a rest on her body. And I always tell my girls, I want you all to rest. Please do not stress your bodies out. And when I say cheer is life, cheer is life. Okay, so they will do whatever. They will stress themselves out to make sure they don't miss a game, miss an event. And we get a lot of calls for events, but I have to be the coach sometimes to say, no, stay home, don't come. And Deasia is one of those ones that wants to come every single time, whether she's sick, down, happy, sad, whatever the case may be. So Deasia will be out. I'm just letting you all know so that you all won't be jumping on my neck, because y'all don't play by Deasia. So I just wanted to let you all know that about Deasia. But all in all, to say, I am very excited about this year's season. I feel like the program just keeps growing and growing and getting better and better. And I feel like it's going to be some amazing things happening this year. I don't know why. I can just feel it in my bones that it's about to be some great things happening for the Monroe cheerleaders.
All right, y'all. So yeah, like I said before, y'all can tell that she's very morally driven. I mean, it looks like she stands for a lot, but we really just don't know. And I hate to put these type of allegations on people without having bona fide facts. But for her to go to jail, for her to resign, and all this other type of stuff, it is serious. It's a serious matter. And I feel like when you're indulging with so many different children doing certain things, it's going to be speculations regardless with anybody over a certain period of time. So I feel like that it's just best for everybody out there to do what they need to do and go home if she didn't do this. Now, if she did do it, she's out of line. She needs to be punished to the maximum extent and everything like that, because I don't see no reason why you would want a child. That's just my personal opinion. Now, she's a wife. She has a child and things like that, or children, if I'm not mistaken, but I know a child for sure. She is a mother. So with that being said, you can't be out here doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. I just don't understand it, and I never will. Dealing with children, like wanting them, having a lustful and lascivious thought process about a child just never made sense to me. But I will holler at y'all later on another video.